Are you sick of living in the shadow of someone else? Need some help learning to love yourself and tap into your unique strengths, or embrace your leadership potential so you can thrive in your life? This is Empower with Nancy. Let's start the show. Oh.
Hey there, welcome back to Empowerment Pathways podcast. And we're here to break through lots of noise, challenges, old patterns, and create a new pathway to leadership, success, and personal transformation. I'm Nancy Davidson, and today I want to have a really honest conversation with you. And it's about something that's probably holding you back more than you realize, and that is micromanaging. Who likes to be micromanaged? Do you work really well being micromanaged, or do you worry about making a mistake? Yeah, you might be thinking, no, I don't micromanage. I'm just detail oriented. I just care about things to make sure that get things done right, per se. But let's get honest for a second here. If you've ever felt exhausted from constantly checking in, if you struggled to trust your team, or if you feel like you're the one who can do everything right, and then we need to talk about the detachment. That is super hard and difficult, because what if I told you that the more you control, the less power you actually have? Have you thought about that? What does it cost us to micromanage? And this is for all you leaders out there. You care, right? You built this company or this department. I get it. And when you care deeply about your work, your business, your team, whatever it is, you want things to go well, right? But let's break this down. The micromanaging is never about control. It truly is about the fear that if you don't oversee every little detail, something will fall apart. How about the fear that someone else won't do it as well as you as the leader? How about fear that if you step back, that you'll lose resilience or importance? So I see this all the time when I was in corporate America. I see it within my client that leaders and business owners, they all struggle in this area, you know, and they think that they're just being responsible. But what it's really happening is that micromanagement is really draining and sucking the life out of them. Then they become frustrated with the team. They take it out on the team because they're frustrated. And then it's creating a cycle where no one can grow because you're not holding onto it tight enough. Do you ever realize these are the things that go through your head? I once was a COO, VP, all of the above, any type of management executive. I've been there, done that. And when I first started in management years and years and years ago, I felt that I had to become everyone's friend, one. And two, I felt that I had to feel important as a manager and everyone has to come to me to get it all done because I felt that I was going to do it right and that I couldn't trust anybody else to do it as good as I can. Does that make sense? So let's talk about what this looks like in real life today. And maybe you recognize yourself as some of these patterns that are going through your head as you're listening to this episode. You double check every single detail instead of empowering your team to do it on their own, to collaborate and work together as a team. You struggle to delegate because you're convinced that no one will do it just like you. You feel burnt and you completely burnt out, right? Completely burnt out because everything falls on whose plate? Your plate. You find yourself redoing tasks that other people already did or just to fix them. Sound familiar? If so, let's talk about the shift that you need to make to move out of the micromanagement and into the empowerment for yourself. Learning to how to delegate and empower your team, having your team feel like they have the seat at the table, and start building that trust that you truly deeply want. But it's so hard to let go. And stop worrying about you having to be on the pedestal all the time, right? Because that is where the confidence lies as well. You as a leader should have confidence. And when you feel that you don't have the confidence, dig a little deeper and ask yourself why. So here's what I need you to hear today. Detachment is not about being disconnected, guys. It is truly about leading from a place of trust instead of fear. So imagine you're holding sand in your hand. If you grip so tightly, what happens? It just slips through your fingers. But if you hold it gently, it stays in the palm of your hand. That's what leadership looks like when you stop micromanaging. You don't lose control, you actually gain influence. So, how do we shift? It starts with three things: trust, clarity, and empowerment. How do we build the trust? If you trust your team, ask yourself how they actually have given you a reason not to, or are you just afraid to completely let go? Building trust starts with small steps. Give your team room to make decisions. Let them take ownership. And most importantly, when they make a mistake, don't take the task back. Coach them and mentor them through it. Get clear on the expectations. This is where most leaders tend to fail in this area. I'm going to be honest. Get clear on the expectation. A lot of micromanagement happens because expectations are unclear. If you're frustrated with how things are being done, ask yourself, have I actually communicated what I expected? Very clear. And did I ask them, do they understand of what I'm asking them to do? So here's a little coaching tip. Instead of managing every little detail, set clear outcomes. Instead of saying, do it exactly this way, say, here's the result we're aiming for. This is the goal. How do you think we should get there? Ask them. I'm going to tell you, watch what happens when you start leading with outcomes instead of instructions. Next is really empower instead of overseeing. Empower instead of overseeing. When you micromanage, you create employees or teams members who really want your approval. So when you empower, you create leaders. So when you are gone on vacation or you're out sick or business trip, you are empowering them to step up to the plate and be an extension of you. So ask yourself, am I training my team to rely solely on me for every darn little thing? Or am I giving them space to develop their own problem-solving skills for them? You are enabling them if you feel that they have to rely on you for every little thing. Start small and give them ownership over a project. Give them ownership of their position. Let them present their ideas first before you just step in. You don't have all the answers all the time as leaders. Empower your team to help you. And most importantly, when they succeed, acknowledge it. Okay? Let them feel that the confidence, let them feel the empowerment and the fulfillment. Allow them to fill up their glass, because I'm telling you right now that it will change everything. What letting go feels like for you. I won't lie to you. It was super hard for me to let go. Extremely uncomfortable, because I, at fault sometimes, am very controlling. I'm a Virgo at heart, right? I am a Virgo, and I am very controlling, but not so controlling that it makes it so uncomfortable. I've always empowered my team. I lead by example. I make them feel empowered and fulfilled. It's going to feel like you're losing control completely. You're going to want to just jump in and fix everything. Your heart's going to pump. You're going to feel the anxiety. You're going to feel the worry and the stress. This is where I want to challenge you in. Let things get messy just for a minute. Give your team your business, right? Give your team your systems the chance to really breathe without you hovering over them. Who likes for people to hover over? I don't. Makes you nervous. Makes you feel like if you make a mistake, you're going to get fired. I'm sure you all feel that way. You're not here to do everything. You're here to lead. And leading requires stepping back sometimes. Think about the leaders who inspire you. Do they control every little thing? Or do they trust delegating and allow others just to step up? Your power isn't in control here. Your power is creating an environment where people rise because they trust you have their back. So here's what I want you to do this week. Pick one area where you tend to micromanage. Just one, not a million things. Don't overthink it. Just take one and challenge yourself to just step back. Whether it's a project or a conversation or a decision that you need to make, give someone else space to own it and watch what happens. And if today's episode really hits home for you, let me know. Send me a message. I'm all over social media. My podcast, as you know, is Empower with Nancy, and I'm all over social media, Empower with Nancy, through LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Tag me on social media and tell me, where are you committing to yourself right now? Thank you so much for spending the time with me today. And if you're ready to even dive deeper into leadership transformation, join me in my Inside coaching programs and turn these conversations into real change for you. Until next time, lead with trust, lead with clarity, and remember, your power comes from letting go, not holding on. Remember, you have control of the will. With gratitude, Nancy.
Thank you for listening to my podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, leave a rating and review, and share it with a friend. To connect with me and get all the behind the scenes content, you can follow me on Instagram at Empower with Nancy and visit my website, empowerwithnancy.com, to learn more about how coaching with me can significantly enhance your life and business. Thank you for listening and have a wonderful day. See you next time.